tomorrow, some of us may wish we had some rain around because it will transition to really hot weather. In fact, tomorrow could be the hottest day that we've seen of the summer so far, especially as far as those heat index values go. Right now, though, we're sitting at 81 degrees. Our heat index at this point only 85. We've had the clouds and we've had rain in the area through some of the afternoon, although it was pretty quiet to start off. Current temperatures, you can see, range from the 70s, where there's been a ton of rain out to the west, to around 90 or so. And then our feels like temperatures are soaring depending on where the rain has been. And of course, the humidity quite high. Our winds are mainly coming in from the west and southwest. And looking at the rainfall totals so far, haven't really gotten a bunch of high totals for these individual spots. But clearly, there's a huge chunk of heavy rain coming down. And it does appear to be lightning a bit in many pockets. But I was tracking this earlier and we were looking at how many lightning strikes with this big complex of storms rolling from the north to south at about 10 or 15 miles per hour is the movement. And look at this, it has increased to over 1,000 strikes in the past 10 or so minutes with that area of rain. So again, some of it's heavy. Don't be surprised, especially if you've had a downpour near you. If one of those areas you know about that fills up with water, those streets that tend to flood, just kind of keep that in mind for this evening. We need to wait for all of that to weaken, as it does appear to be probably going to be doing in the next couple of hours, and also continue moving south. Now over New Orleans and most of the North Shore, nothing really happening aside from this shower we've been watching, moving right along the Louisiana-Mississippi state line to the south and southeast, and also a downpour here just south of the West Bank closer to Lafitte. But we need to wait for all of this to kind of wrap up. So it should happen in the next few hours. Just a quick reminder, especially if you're over in areas like Thibodaux and Schriever, those of you who get out to check your rain gauge in the next hour once the rain stops. Remember to text your rainfall totals. You can do that all summer long after you get a downpour. Very interested to see those, and we check this often. 504-529-4444, and make sure you include your name if you'd like that to be included when we show them, and also your neighborhood and the city, so we can pinpoint where those totals were coming from. Hour by hour, though, we should see everything subside. By tonight, we'll lose the daytime heating. And even though these storms are rather strong and heavy, they're not quite severe and should be weakening through this evening without that additional heat of the day. But tomorrow, we transition to the hot weather. A heat advisory issued for tomorrow with that heat index for the orange shaded areas up to about 108. Tonight, though, we'll get into the 70s with rain chances dropping to about 20%. And tomorrow we'll say 93, but feeling like near 108. Our high resolution model showing the evening rain coming to an end, and then watch tomorrow. This is the morning. We'll fast forward to the afternoon. All we can really pinpoint with these models is just a little bit of isolated activity. So there might be a couple of showers or storms tomorrow, but not many. And that's because of this, the big high pressure area moving in, getting a firm grip on our southeast U.S. area, and then retreating a little bit to the west by the weekend. When you get that high pressure, it's sinking air, it compresses and heats up as it does so, and it also makes it hard for storms to build. Now, quickly in the tropics, there is no development expected for the next 5 days or so at least. Looking at those numbers again, just really quickly, we have had our forecast for the season up to about 20 named storms or so. Remember, the average is about 14. And just a quick glance at those names. We've already made it through Alex. Next would be Bonnie and then Colin. If we did make it to the 19 that Colorado State, for example, is forecasting, that would bring us to Tobias. So we need to wait a while for that to happen. A lot of the season to get through, but thankfully we have that dry kind of Saharan dust situation right now, not seeing any big activity. Next 7 days, in fact, continue quite warm. We'll have a closer look at all that coming up in the 6 p.m. forecast, but for now, I would plan on a hot and mainly dry week.